You're watching CHCO-TV's Gavel to Gavel coverage of the March 18th, 2024 regular council meeting for the town of St. Andrews. I'm Vicki Hogarth.
And I'm Florence Mitchell. In today's meeting, under Planning and Community Development, Councillors Harland and Heenan will move to set a date for a public presentation regarding amendments to the St. Andrews Municipal Plan and to zoning bylaw Z22-01 for 222 Prince of Wales Street. Councillors Harland and Heenan will also move that Council grants leave for the second and third readings of Amendment Z22-04 for the rezoning of Stonewall Place for Evans Land Development Limited.
Under Finance and Administration, Deputy Mayor Akaji will move that Council approves updates to the expense policy for employees, with changes to kilometric and food allowances. The Deputy Mayor will also move that Council provides community assistance grant funds to 13 organizations.
Under Economic Development, Business and Culture, Councillors Hurdle and Weir will move that Council accepts the resignation of a member of the Town of St. Andrews Tourism Promotion Committee and that Council accepts the appointment of a new member to the committee. Councillors Hurdle and Weir will also move that Council sponsors the 2024 Southwest Business Summit.
Council will move to proclaim March 26, 2024 as Purple Day for Epilepsy Awareness and to light Town Hall in purple. Finally, Council will move to support the Proclamation Mayor's Monarch Pledge for 2024. Now let's join Council in the W.C. O'Neill Arena Complex Council Chambers in St. Andrews.
All right, Council, let's call to order the regular Council meeting here for the Town of St. Andrews on Monday, March 18th, 2024, 6:30 p.m. We are at the W.C. O'Neill Arena Complex Council Chambers at 24 Reed Avenue. This meeting will also be streamed through Zoom and Facebook. I'm going to get right into the recording of attendance. I've got a few councillors that are not here this evening. So to start, we've got Councillor Harland, and we have Councillor, help me out here. Blanchard. He's not online though?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. Well, other than that, thank you, Council, for being here. And I do want to recognize that we are on the unceded traditional territory of the Beskoto-Magadi people. Approval of agenda. I'll be looking for a mover to approve the agenda. I've got Councillor Heenan, seconded by Councillor Neal. Any changes to the agenda this evening? Seeing none, so I will call the question. All in favor of approving the agenda, please signify by saying aye. It's everybody. The agenda has been carried forward. So we are now in the disclosure of conflict of interest. Myself, I have two. I'm going to be consistent. They'll be in relation to PED 231208. So there's a few motions there. And then as well, I will be declaring conflict of interest on FA 240321, as both of the people mentioned in there are employees of Kingsbury Garden. So there's no presentation. We did the minutes and the staff reports at the previous meeting. So we're getting right into the bulk of the meeting this evening, which is the introduction, consideration, and passing of bylaws and motions.
Your Worship, can we just hold a second? There seems to be a technical issue I'm getting from Florence.
Absolutely. So. I can have a sip of my kombucha.
Thank you.
Are you advertising for them or what?
Nope. Okay, no, we're good now. Thank you.
I'm refreshed. Thank you. All right, so we are going to jump right into Amendment MP 20-07 to the Municipal Plan, MP 20-01, and Z 22-06 to the zoning bylaw, which is for Lynn and David Mayo. So over to you. It looks like Councillor Heenan this evening.
Thank you, Your Worship and Council. This is reference number PCD 240302, Amendment MP 20-07 to the Municipal Plan, MP 20-01, and Z 22-06 to the zoning bylaw, Lynn and David Mayo. The Town of St. Andrews has received an application from Lynn and David Mayo at 222 Prince of Wales Street, PIDS number 013232994 and 15097-066, seeking rezoning to the mixed-use zone to facilitate the development of a commercial building. The applicant wishes to demolish the existing garage and replace it with a 50 by 40 two-story building. The new building would house the WE Fabric Shop, as the current location is no longer suitable for their needs. Please see the attached staff report and copies of the amendment MP 20-07 and Z 22-06. As a municipal plan amendment is needed for this rezoning, a public presentation needs to be called within 10 to 14 days of posting of the meeting. It is anticipated that the public presentation will take place at the April 2nd, 2024 regular council meeting as per Community Planning Act Section 25(1). Council will have the ability to consider aspects of a development agreement as per Community Planning Section 51(1) as it relates to this zoning and amendment process. And the motion, Your Worship, is that the Council of the Town of St. Andrews sets the date of Tuesday, April the 2nd, 2024 for public presentation to the amendment MP 20-07 to the Town of St. Andrews Municipal Plan MP 20-01 and for amendment Z22-06 to the zoning bylaw Z22-01 for PIDs 013239294 and 150-97066 for 222 Prince of Wales Street for Lynn and David Mayo as per Community Planning Act Section 25(1). And I so move this, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Heenan. And second it. So we've got a mover and a seconder. Any discussion on this one? Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor of this motion for the public presentation, please signify by saying aye. That date has been set. Thank you very much, Council. All right, I am at a conflict of interest, so I will recuse myself for just a moment.
And, oh no, you usually have pages, but I missed the pages.
Council, you're looking for page 24 of your package?
Am I good? Thank you. Because I would go and buy that one. Okay.
Thank you, Your Worship, and thank you, Mr. Knopper. This is for the second and third reading for Amendment Z22-04 for the rezoning of Stonewall Place, PID 01325240, Evans Land Development Limited, PED 231208. And this is yours again, Councillor Heenan.
Thank you, Your Worship and Council. As mentioned, reference number PED 231208, second and third reading for Amendment Z22-04 for the zoning of Stonewall Place, PID number 013252440, Evans Land Development Limited. The Town of St. Andrews has been working with the developers from Evans Land Development Limited for the creation of a subdivision at PID 013252440, known as Stonewall Place. The location is at the intersection of Bar Road and Mowat Drive. The following steps have been taken in the process. Steps in process. Public presentation, June the 5th, 2023. Public presentation by developers, June 19th, 2023. Public hearing of objections, July 4th, 2023. Obtained views of PAC, June 21st, 2023. First reading, September 5th, 2023. Public hearing of objections, January the 8th, 2024. Variance and obtained views of PAC, March 12th, 2024. Second reading, third and final reading. In addition, a traffic study was conducted and provided to Council for review. Council accepted the information in the traffic study. Provided for Council review and debate are the subdivision development agreement and economic development agreement. Staff, planners, legal, and developers are supportive of the documents. Prior to the third and final reading, Council will need to make motions approving these documents. Your Worship, the first motion is that Council of the Town of St. Andrews grants leave for the second reading to the amendment bylaw Z22-04, a bylaw to amend bylaw number Z22-01, being zoning bylaw bylaw for the town of St. Andrews for PID number 01325240 Stonewall Place, Evans Land Development Limited. Rezoning from the SR, which is Service Residential Zone, to MR2, which is High Density Multiple Residential Zone, to facilitate the development of an apartment complex subdivision. Mr. Knopper, there's no motion to, oh, here it is. I so move this, Your Worship.
Seconded by Councillor Bennett.
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't have my microphone on. All right. Any further comment? All right. The question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Carried unanimously. And now I must read this by title. Thank you very much. So, a bylaw to amend bylaw number Z22-01, being the zoning bylaw for the town of St. Andrews. And there's just a small paragraph, so I read that. Being enacted by the council of the town of St. Andrews as follows. 1. Bylaw number Z22-01, the zoning bylaw for the town of St. Andrews, is amended by changing the zone as shown on the zoning map attached to the said bylaw as Schedule A, thereof for the lands shown on Schedule 1, attached here to, and forming part hereof from SR, which is Service Residential Zone, to MR2, High Density Multiple Residential Zone. So it was a public presentation on the 5th day of June 2023, a public hearing of objections on the 4th of July, 4th day of July 2023, obtained the views of the PAC on the 21st day of June 2023, read for the first time on 5th day of September 2023. The public hearing of objections was on the 8th day of January 2024. The variance and obtaining views of PAC was on the 12th day of March 2024. And this is read the second time, which is the, I forgot the date, 18th day of March 2024. Okay, Mr. Heenan, Councillor Heenan, would you continue?
Thank you, Your Worship and Council. Next motion, that the Council of the Town of St. Andrews approves the subdivision agreement, development agreement, and economic development grant agreement for PID 0132524 Stonewall Place, Evans Land Development Limited, from rezoning from the SR Service Residential Zone to MR2, which is High Density Multiple Residential Zone, to facilitate the development of an apartment complex subdivision. Your Worship, I move this.
Thank you, Councillor Heenan. Seconder, Councillor Hurtle. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Contrary-minded? That's carried unanimously. So I need to read it again? No? Okay. And then
Deputy Mayor, now you'll give back to,
Councillor Heenan.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Worship and Council, the third motion is that the Council of the Town of St. Andrews grants leave for the third and final reading to the amendment bylaw Z22-04, a bylaw to amend bylaw number Z22-01, being the zoning bylaw for the Town of St. Andrews for PID number 0132524 Stonewall Place, Evan Land Development Limited, rezoning from the SR, which is Service Residential Zone, to MR2, which is High Density Multiple Residential Zone, to facilitate the development of an apartment complex or subdivision. I so move.
Thank you, Councillor Heenan. Seconder.
Now, now you read it for the third time, Deputy Mayor. All you have to do is read the top bolded line and then just read it for the third time because you've already read it in full. So you'll read the top line and then for third reading. Yeah. we'll request the mayor come back.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you.
All right, so that would bring us to the discussion on text amendments for the Town of St. Andrews zoning bylaw, Z22-01. Mr. Dopper, do you care to comment on this evening?
Thank you, Your Worship. You do have it in your report that's been provided. It was noted that the planners would like to bring forward a couple of text amendments that have been presented to you. One is in regards to the digital sign as it relates to the W.C. O'Neill Arena, that LED signs, digital signs are not prohibited in the town of St. Andrews. However, a text amendment that would specifically say for use at the W.C. O'Neill Arena, as council has noted, this is for safety information for the public and providing just generalized event information for our community, and has been discussed and approved in budget, but has to be changed in text form to allow it within the zoning bylaw.
Perfect. And would it be safe to assume that if there's any concerns from council, the best time to debate that would be during the actual readings of the, I guess, the text amendment for the zoning?
Correct. So staff are seeking at this point in time, if council is comfortable to move forward with these two text amendments, staff would draft up copies of the text amendments for the zoning bylaw, and then at that point, council would have the opportunity to fully debate and discuss those amendments. That are being
Perfect. So you're looking for consensus to bring them forward?
That is correct.
Okay. Council, any questions on that? Again, it'll be debated in full, because I know there is at least a concern that would probably want to be discussed at that. So, all right, council, just a show of hands for consensus. Are you guys okay with staff bringing that forward? Okay.
So the second text amendment, council, that is being presented is actually in regards to temporary liquor licenses within the community. So there was a change, as noted, at public safety in regards to licensing of temporary use licenses, special occasion permits, so basically one-off licenses, and that they need zoning confirmations for these. So due to our zoning bylaw and that it doesn't allow for in select zones for licensed premises, that it was requested that a text amendment come. For example, there was a concert that was going to be hosted at a church that they wanted to serve wine but couldn't because they weren't because it wasn't within our zoning bylaw to allow it for the temporary license, so it had to be moved to the arena. So they would like places like that to be able to host, or if somebody wanted a special occasion permit for a wedding in a park, that's also something that would be restricted at this point.
Sounds good. Seems pretty straightforward, as something that we often see in the community. Any questions on that particular text amendment? Okay, just consensus that you'd like that to come forward as well? Yeah, see it ahead now. You've got consensus for both.
Thank you, council.
Next one, Councillor Heenan.
Thank you, Your Worship and Council. This is reference number PCD 240304. Proclamation of Epilepsy Awareness Day, March 26, 2024. The town of St. Andrews has received a request from Epilepsy Canada to proclaim March 26, 2024 as Epilepsy Awareness Day. Please see the attached letter and proclamation for details. They are requesting the town light up Town Hall in purple for Purple Day to help raise awareness of epilepsy awareness. Motion that the Council of the Town of St. Andrews proclaims March 26, 2024 as Purple Day for Epilepsy Awareness Day, and to light the Town Hall in purple. And I definitely so move this.
Sounds good. Councillor Bennett once again will second. Any discussion on this one? We did have consensus to obviously bring this one forward in the past. Okay, all in favor of this proclamation, please signify by saying aye.
Aye, Your Worship.
All right, here we go. So this is the Town of St. Andrews Proclamation, Epilepsy Awareness Day, March 26, 2024. Purple Day is a global effort dedicated to promoting awareness in countries around the world, and whereas epilepsy is one of the most common neurological conditions, estimated to affect over 50 million people worldwide, and 42 people in Canada are diagnosed every day, and whereas 1 in 10 persons will have at least one seizure during their lifetime, whereas the public is often unable to recognize common seizure types or how to respond with appropriate first aid, and whereas Purple Day will be celebrated on March 26 annually to increase understanding, reduce reduce stigma and improve the quality of life for people with epilepsy throughout the country and globally. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town of St. Andrews hereby proclaims March 26, 2024 as Purple Day for Epilepsy Awareness. And now, therefore, I, Brad Henderson, Mayor of the Town of St. Andrews, support the proclamation Epilepsy Awareness Day on March 26, 2024 for the Town of St. Andrews, which will be signed today, March 18, 2024. In witness whereof, I have set my hand and caused the seal of mayoralty of the Town of St. Andrews to be affixed hereto. All right, so now we are moving ahead to Finance and Administration. This would be Deputy Mayor Akagi.
Thank you, Your Worship. My first one is FA 240320, and it's the travel rates for the Town of St. Andrews. The section background is this. Section 7.4 of the Town of St. Andrews Policies and Procedures Manual states that the CAO will update the rates annually on the authority from council. It also states that the rates will reflect the rates paid in the province of New Brunswick, which were updated in mid-2023. Please see the attached documents for all the details on the current travel rates of the Town of St. Andrews and the updated province of New Brunswick rates. So the motion is this, that the Council of the Town of St. Andrews approves the update of the Town of St. Andrews Policies and Procedures Manual, Section 7.4, expense policy for employees for the following: kilometric allowance, 0.57 cents per kilometer, breakfast, $10.88, lunch, $15.23, and dinner, $28.22. And I so move this, Your Worship.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Seconder for that one. We've got Councillor Heenan. Discussion on this one?
Straightforward.
Okay, pretty straightforward to the provincial, keeping it consistent. All in favor of approving this motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye, Your Worship.
And that is everybody that has been carried. Next one, which is a longer one, Deputy Mayor.
Okay, just gotta find it, number 2.
It's
Page
87.
68.
68, I'm
Right.
sorry. If I'm going to give you the number.
You said 87? No, it's
I know,
68.
68.
That's what I thought. Okay. Thank you very much, Council. All right. Thank you, Your Worship. FA 240321, and it's submitted by Councillor Hurdle. Tourism and Promotion Committee resignation and appointment. Background is this. The town is...
Sorry.
Oh, so sorry. Oh, sorry. Okay, fire me now. FA 240215, and it's Community Assistance Grants Requests for 2024. The Town of St. Andrews received 16 grant submissions for the initial intake of the Community Assistance Grants for 2024. At the February 2024 regular council meeting, council established a committee of staff and council members to review the applications. The town received requests for support of $25,100 with a budget of only $15,000. Upon review, the committee is recommending of supporting 13 grant requests with a total of $11,900 in funding from the community assistance grants and $3,000 from the trust funds held by the town. The council will have $3,100 remaining in the Community Assistance Fund for 2024. So the motion is this, that the Council of the Town of St. Andrews provides the following community assistance grants for 2024 to the following organizations: Anglophone School District South, District Inspire Awards, $400. New Brunswick Woodcarvers Association, $500. The Poppy Project, $500. St. Croix Blades, $500. Charlotte County Ground Search and Rescue, $500. Winter Warmer Festival, $500. St. Andrews Civic Trust, $1,000. Sir James Dunn Academy High School Dragon Boat Festival, $1,000. Vincent Massey Elementary School Home and School Program, $2,000 from the Albert McCoy Fund. And the St. Andrews Paddling Club, $1,000. Charlotte County Dollar Ride, $3,000. The St. Andrews Arts Council, $1,000, and $1,000 from the Albert McCoy Fund. Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Charlotte County and Kings County, $2,000. And I so move this, Your Worship.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Once again, we'll be looking for a seconder for that one. I've got Councillor Hurdle just edging out Councillor Neal by a hair. Discussion on this one.
I'd like to thank the committee for doing this because it was a difficult task to take and condense it down to what they had to do. So I'd like to thank them all for doing that. It was a hard job, and I'd like to thank staff because without your direction, we couldn't do anything.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Your Worship, just a note, Council had requested information from one particular applicant. They have since removed or asked for their application to be revoked from the process, so the one regarding bikes will not come forward.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other member of council? Okay, yes, thank you, Councillor Bennett and Councillor Harland for attending that meeting. Okay, all in favor of this particular motion, please signify by saying aye. And any opposed? Seeing none, that has been carried. And I think it is time for me to go for a walk again. It's nice seeing everyone.
Thank you, Your Worship. We'll wait till you leave the room. And I apologize, Councillor Herter, for reading yours.
You're always allowed to steal my thunder. It's
Oh,
okay.
thank you, thank you. You're so wonderful.
Council, just to note, the numbering looks a little different because it is an FA number, but after review, I did move it to business as it should be. So
So should I read it as
That's-
such?
you still read it as the full number because that's what it had to be registered as, so you're good to go.
So thank you, and it's all yours, Councillor Hurdle.
Thank you, Your Worship. And this is reference to FA 240321. The subject is Tourism Promotion Committee resignation and appointment. The background is the town of St. Andrews has received a resignation letter from Chelsea Bellier as a member of the Tourism Promotion Committee. Provided with this report is a copy of the resignation letter provided to the town. The town also received a request for the appointment of Ryan O'Connell to replace Mrs. Bellier on the Tourism Promotion Committee. Please see the attached documents for additional details. And as a process for the Committee of Council, Council has to formally accept the resignation of positions through motion and a motion for a new appointed member. And so the motion is that the Council of the Town of St. Andrews accepts the resignation of Chelsea Bellier as a member of the Town of St. Andrews Tourism Promotion Committee as of March 18, 2024, and I so move.
Seconder, Councillor Heaton. Any further discussion, Council? All right. Councillor Heaton seconded, and any further discussion, Council?
Just to thank Chelsea for her work over the years.
And that's great. I'm sorry that you're leaving the committee too, Chelsea. Thank you very much for all your time and commitment. Are you ready for the question, Council? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Contrary minded? Carried unanimously. Okay. Councillor Hurdle, continue on.
And the next motion is that the Council of the Town of St. Andrews accepts the appointment of Ryan O'Connell as a member of the Town of St. Andrews Tourism Promotion Committee as of March 18, 2024, and I so move.
And seconded by Councillor Gumashell. Any further discussion, Council? All those in favor? Aye. Councillor contrary minded? Carried unanimously. Thank you very much. And we invite the mayor back in now. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. So we're going to continue now with Economic Development, Business, and Culture Committee, and this would be Councillor Ware.
And council, you'll realize that the new system, you have to have your mic on to be heard, so.
I don't know whether I'm the proper one to give this motion, but I'll put it on the table. EBC 240301, request for support for the 2024 Business Summit, June 26th to 28th, 2024 in St. Andrews. The Town of St. Andrews has received a request from the organization committee for the Southwest Business Summit 2024 to be hosted at the Algonquin Hotel, June 26th to June 28th, 2024. Please see the attached document for details on the sponsorship request. This will be the largest business event in New Brunswick for 2024. The summit intends to provide support, tools, resources, connections, fun experiences, and learning opportunity for business leaders from across the province. The motion reads that the Council of the Town of St. Andrews supports the 2024 Southwest Business Summit with a sponsorship of to be determined. So moved.
Thank you. And to get on the table, let's have a second and then we can revise it. Councillor Heenan, this is now open for discussion. Council, you can see that there's a number of different sponsorship levels on the side. I don't even think you necessarily have to go to a sponsorship level. It can be anything that you choose, but this one was not part of our regular assistance grant request. This would be an addition. Is this where the funds would come from should council decide to proceed, or is this be in civic engagement?
It would either come from community, the community assistance grant, or come from civic promotions.
Okay, civic promotions rather. Okay, council, over to you for this one. Councillor Heenan.
I would be more than happy to fund the nutrition.
Councillor Heenan, are you using your mic?
Sorry. I would be comfortable to fund a nutrition break for $500. That's just what I put on the table.
Okay, councillor. Let's open. We won't do like a formal motion. You want to just put it on the table for discussion,
Yes.
then we'll get you to council. Councillor Heenan has suggested $500 for basically a break during their conference called a nutrition break. Councillor Hurdle.
Thank you, Worship. Could any additional funding be found in the tourism accommodation levy for this?
Yes, actually, that's well within. That's a good suggestion. It's well within our realm of possibility. And the other thing too is that I'm assuming that some hotel will be generating at least revenue for one of our major contributors to the fund for sure.
Well, any bookings that are taken at any of our hotels are subject to the levy, so you'd actually be replenishing your levy with any funds you basically support it with.
There's an evening gala. I don't know if you've gone to the website, but there's that evening gala that might have some people that stay down for it. But that's a good suggestion. Anyone else? Councillor Ware.
I'm just having a problem determining exactly what's going to transpire at this summit. They say it's going to be the largest one in New Brunswick. I don't know what that's based on. I was at the meeting last Thursday, and the comment at that time was that we should participate because it was going to be a really big show. I remember Ed Sullivan saying that, but anyway. But I can't seem to get any details on it. I've been watching the website. I know they're going to have a comedian and a number of speakers, but I'm trying to determine whether it's a real business event or if it's a social event. And maybe it's a bit of both, I don't know, but
Perfect.
it makes it very difficult to determine what level of participation.
And by no means am I skewing you out myself. I did personally purchase tickets. So when you purchase the tickets, there's like drop downs for specific trainings you want to do. There's like anything ranging from HR law to marketing to, so it's got the training element to it, but there is the social there's a social function, but there's also a gala dinner as well. So I do think, to your point on the largest in New Brunswick. I think that's marketing. I think that's a bold claim before you actually sell it out. I think build it and they'll come. And I know a lot of people are spending a lot of effort on this, and it's not a shun at them, but to say it's the largest business event in New Brunswick, I do think that that's bold. But it could be. I just don't think it's necessarily going to be that at this particular time. Councillor Bennett.
Thank you, Your Worship. I guess I'm kind of in line with Councillor Weir, and that not knowing exactly what this is, if the promoters of this event had asked to come and do a presentation and explain to us more about what was going to happen, or we had a little further advance notice, we probably could have prepared a little more for it and maybe funded a little higher. But maybe the nutrition break that's already been put forth by our esteemed councillor here is probably in line with the amount of notice that we've been given in this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other member of council? Councillor Hurdle.
Thank you, Your Worship. I think that since this really isn't, we're not being asked this as an attendee or a presenter, the summit really isn't necessarily for the town. However, it's a significant event that's coming here that's going to put, what they say, bums in beds overnight and bring people to the area, and it's something to get a lot of excitement around and actually bring people here. What the content is, I think, is secondary to what they're asking for us here on council. If I was a business, I might have a little more thought about, what's actually taking place. Is this something that I want to participate in? But from my point of view, this is something that is going to generate excitement and bring people here and a lot of attention to the community. So from what I see, our role in is to actually create and continue that excitement. So I'd be on board with sponsoring perhaps a little bit higher than what's been suggested so far.
All right. So we're hearing, Councillor Gumichel.
Thank you, Your Worship. I tend to agree with Councillor Hurdle, although I think it's heads in beds, not bums in beds, but whatever. I think lots of people are working to try to kick this off, and a bronze sponsorship level would be perhaps a better place for us to start, given that it's here in town, and our Chamber of Commerce and all the other chambers of commerce are involved, and I think a bronze level sponsorship might be more appropriate. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Gumichel. I guess just piggybacking on Councillor Hurdle's comments, is Explore St. Andrews sponsoring this event through the Tourism Accommodation Levy?
I have no information on that.
I think it's because the application deadline is, coming up. I don't think they've awarded any, is my assumption.
I know they haven't awarded any funds.
Okay, they haven't awarded any, so I was just going to say, because it would be almost on both sides of it then. But Council, over to you. So I'm hearing 500, I'm hearing 1,500, I'm hearing more information. So
Mayor Henderson, I'll put this to council. If you guys want, we can ask them to come and present at the next council meeting, if that would give council enough time to and more information to make a decision. It's your choice.
I think that would be something I think everyone could live with, but let's just check. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So I've got enough consensus, so I'll be looking for a motion to table this, actually. I've got Councillor Heenan, seconded by Deputy Mayor Akaji. Discussion on the tabling. All in favor of tabling, please signify by saying aye. It's now tabled. All right, Council, just jump ahead here.
Page 77, council.
All right, so this particular one, we will go to Councillor Gumichel.
Thank you, Your Worship. Reference number RE 240303, March 15, 2024, submitted by Councillor Blanchard, and the subject is the Mayor's Monarch Pledge 2024. And the background reads, the town of St. Andrews was approached by Katie Thompson, a global education teacher, and her class from Pine Springs Preparatory Academy in Holly Springs, North Carolina, to participate in the Mayor's Monarch's Pledge. Mrs. Thompson is a seasonal resident of St. Andrews and encouraged her class to write to council to support monarch butterfly populations and other pollinators. The Mayor's Monarch Pledge is an international program developed by the U.S. National Wildlife Federation. The goal of the pledge is to help create awareness and to address the critical needs of monarchs and pollinators in our community and many communities across North America. The town of St. Andrews would be the third New Brunswick community to sign up for this program. Over 600 communities in North America have made the pledge to support monarchs and pollinators. Mrs. Thompson's class would like to work together to help monarchs by making our towns, cities, and countries a healthy habitat for all pollinators. And the motion reads that the Council of the Town of St. Andrews supports the Proclamation Mayor's Monarchs Pledge for 2024, and I so move, Your Worship.
Thank you. I've got a few seconders. Councillor Ware, did I see your hand? I'm going to give it to Councillor Ware because you're further away. It would have taken time for it to get to me. So we've got a seconder, Councillor Ware. Discussion on this one? I will say having kids send you letters with coloring on it might be a little skewing your decision making. They were really nice letters, and I'm glad they set them in. So I will call the question. All in favor of approving this motion?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? I just want to call you out if you did. All right. This is the Town of St. Andrews Proclamation, the Mayor's Monarch Pledge, March 18th, 2024. The monarch butterfly is an iconic North American species with multi-generational migration and metamorphosis from caterpillar to butterfly has captured our imaginations. And whereas over the last decades, there has been a decline in the monarch butterfly population with fewer and fewer migrating to Mexico each year, and whereas cities, towns, and countries have a critical role to play in helping save the monarch butterfly, and the Town of St. Andrews can take a leadership role in supporting habitats for butterflies and pollinators, and whereas every citizen of the Town of St. Andrews can make a difference for the monarch butterflies by planting native milkweed and nectar plants and provide habitats for the monarchs and other pollinators in locations where people live, work, learn, and play. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town of St. Andrews hereby proclaims the Mayor's Monarch Pledge for 2024. And now, therefore, I, Brad Henderson, Mayor of the Town of St. Andrews, support the proclamation of the Mayor's Monarch Pledge for the Town of St. Andrews, signed on March 18, 2024. And in witness whereof, I have set my hand and caused the seal of mayoralty of the Town of St. Andrews to be affixed here too. And just on that note, I just want to give a shout out to grade 3 student Brady Craig. Brady, with his grandmother Mary, has grown monarch butterflies in our community for a number of years and actually released them every year. So really good to see that it'd be an official one, and the acts around the monarch butterfly continue. So very nice of that class, and of course our seasonal resident, Miss Thompson, for bringing this forward. I'm quicker jumping through the package than I am today. All right, so that takes us through all of our particular discussions today. We do have a closed session item, but before we do that, we will open it up to question period. Let's start by online, if there's anyone online, and then you can make the call. We'll go to the room and then check to see if there's any hands. Does that make sense?
Yep. So for those that are online participating tonight, if you have a question for council, please raise your hand. Council, you won't see them up there. I actually have them down here on my screen. So.
Okay.
Call again. Those that are online, if you have any questions for council on tonight's agenda, please raise your hand. No questions online.
Thank you. Anyone in the audience wish to ask a question specific to tonight's agenda?
It's not a question, just a thank you on behalf of the Poppy Project for the funds you've allocated to us. Thank you.
Well, I know that there's a lot of volunteer hours that go behind that, so thank you for everything that you and the rest of your volunteers do. We certainly appreciate it, and that was, I think, a very quick and easy decision for the committee, and of course, council unanimously supported, so thank you.
Good evening. I'd like to thank the council and the staff for finally approving this zoning change, and thanks very much for all of you.
Thank you very much. I could get used to the comments when it's just thank yous, right? Anyone else like to say thank you? No, I'm kidding. Any other questions? All right, well, thank you for attending this evening. It is greatly appreciated. At this point, we are going to move on to councilors' comments. Any comments from any member of council? Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Your Worship. We met with Rika Nason, who is from the Community Gardens, and she and the Open Door Project. I'm getting there, Mr. Nombrick. I'll think about it. But the Open Door Project, we met with a little committee, and we talked about what she called silo gardens in the in the town. And what she's hoping is that to raise food, and they do some of that at the community gardens. They do raise food already, which is given to the food bank, but this would be above and beyond, and it would allow clients who are unable to have their own gardens on their own property for whatever reason, they could have a piece or work in a community garden where they could raise food that would be used for the food banks. We thought that was a great idea, and I've put it out to the schools. We're looking for little plots of land that they might be able to do this on. And again, they've agreed that they're going to do most of the funding. Council will be asked to assist with maybe in-kind services with, helping to build this or do that. We don't know exactly, but she's taken it back with her committee, and they will be coming back to discuss with us. But I just want to let you know that I sat in on the meeting, and a lot of her ideas are excellent, and the committee was excellent for support, and we're looking for support from the community. If you know of anybody that wants to do gardening and doesn't want to do gardening in their own home or can't, then there's a place where you could reach out and volunteer to do some work in the gardens up there. And that would be a great idea. Second thing about food banks is I asked for bags a long time ago because we're still delivering food to clients that are unable, for whatever reason, to get foods. And I know our Open Door program uses the credit card system, but St. George Food Bank and St. Stephen Food Bank, bags would be nice because I myself at my age can't carry those heavy boxes with turkeys in them. I'm sorry. Unless there's younger people that are going to come forward, bags are a lot easier for me to carry to get them to the person's door. So if you have any spare bags laying around, please drop them off at town office. I'm looking at Mr. Knopper because I don't want them dropped off at my yard, they'll blow away, but at the town office Monday to Friday, and they will make sure that I get them and that I will deliver them to the food banks in St. George and St. Stephen. I don't mind doing that, but the boxes are just too heavy for me to lift, and for a lot of our drivers, dial ride drivers, it's just too heavy to lift. So I want to wish everybody a belated happy St. Patrick's Day, and also an early happy Easter, because I don't think we meet before on public to say happy Easter. So thank you very much, Your Worship and Council.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor. One last call for Council. Councillor Ware.
I'll make a couple comments. Number one, on the monarch butterfly pledge, there was a second word there, pollinators, which any of you that follow nature at all will know that the bee population is shrinking dramatically. And I know I support No Mow May. I realize people in town may not be able to as easily, but we do have a serious problem with our pollinators, and anything anyone can do to get some additional nectar out to the bees and get the bee population back where it should be, very much appreciated, I think, by the farmers and everyone, actually, because it's becoming a serious problem. The other comment would be on the economic development meeting last week. I know the mayor was there for a while. I don't know how long because I was sitting up front. But the thrust of the Regional Service Commission seems to be workforce development and housing and a livable wage. I did bring up a couple of examples of build it and they will come. They tried it in Beldoon to the tune of many millions of dollars. It took them a lot of years to get someone in the facility. I'm not sure that we've got a handle on what we want to do as far as economic development goes yet. I think we're floundering a bit, and by we, I mean the entire area encompassed by the Regional Service Commission. And I wasn't disappointed, I guess. It confirmed what I was thinking that was transpiring. And I don't know how we zero in on economic development in the area, but I don't think we've come up with the formula yet. And that's my reaction to the whole thing. Thank you very much.
Sounds good, Councillor Ware. I had a different economic development meeting that week too, so I'll circle back after the meeting with you and let you know about that as well. But thanks for bringing that forward, and I appreciate you attending that meeting as well. I was coaching hockey, but I only missed the opening 10, so I saw the back of your head the entire meeting. So, any other member of council? All right, I'm good for this evening. So I will be looking at 7:19 p.m. that council move into closed session per the Local Governance Act, Section 68(1)(c), which is information that could cause financial loss or gain to a person or the local government, or could jeopardize negotiations leading to an agreement or contract, and 68(1)(f), which is information concerning legal opinions or advice provided to the local government by its solicitor, or privileged communications between solicitor and client in a matter of local government. So could I please have a mover by Councillor Neal and seconded by Councillor Heenan? All in favor of going to closed session? Thank you. We appreciate the attendance from the public tonight. Thank you.